still with Dr. Mohammed El Deeb. This time we're digging into his personality as a photographer. Let's see what he had to say to us. Dr. Mohammed, this time we're digging into the photographer. How did you start the path to photography?
I was started the photography when I was with student, secondary school, and I was starting as I like the painting, I like the drawing when I was 7 years old, and usually all the teachers, they are taking my drawings and they put them in exhibitions. I took the much more encouragement from my family, my father, my mother, my sisters, and they are pushing me to a good drawing. So I have a continued drawing. I started the photography as a photographer when I was in the medical college, and after the graduation, I take it more specific with study to have taking the photography as a tool for my hobby as artist and as a painting. And that's why my direction for the photography was already have a good background of modern photography, or what you will see in my work, using special effects in modern photography.
Today we are on your 13th exhibition. It's held here in Cairo, but you've already held a lot of exhibitions around the world. Tell us some information about them.
Yes, actually I made many exhibitions here in Egypt as a personal alone. As you said, it is 13, but I made for about 7 or 8 exhibitions outside and abroad, 4 of them in hospitals. I made a photography exhibition inside the hospitals, and I made others with the link with the culture center in London, in Vienna, in Russia, in South Korea, in Seoul. So I find a very good cooperation with our embassy abroad to help them. During the time of my training, usually, I make a good link before my going abroad or traveling. So I usually making this, and I choose a subject, whatever this about Egypt, about the folklore of Egypt, about Luxor, about Laswab, about shadows, about the creativity. So I made the subject usually with the good planning with the organizers. The last exhibition before this, I was made in Vienna with the Egyptian embassy in Austria, and this was in Vienna. This was the second exhibition was to be in Vienna. And this was in Chadu. The exhibition before that, it was Helwa Ya Baladi, and they did not give me my painting. They said, please keep it, Muhammad. We are using this for different exhibitions, and this was using in Bratislava in Slovakia in the last year. So actually, the photography, it is I find it that it is very good tools to give a good picture about Egypt, and about we have about 1/3 of the landmarks in all the world. I am proud that I am Egyptian, and I am proud that I am orthopedic surgeon, and I am proud also that I am a photographer, because this is a good link to, if I have a chance, to give all the world Egypt, that I am Egyptian, and I like my land, I like my people, and to give a good pictures for all the people abroad.
obviously you have a special line of photography. Tell us a little bit about it.
Actually, this was special effects in modern photography. And was the special effect in modern photography is tools that the photographer can use to give the picture creativity and to give the picture more scope for the recipient to see the photograph. It is not like looking for a picture like a landscape, but the photographer is give his tools. These tools, it is using filters, using zooming, using contrast, using a new computer's tools, which it is the Photoshop techniques. So using the different tools, whatever this is, not only the usually the camera, but also the digital camera, because nowadays the digital camera has many models and many advanced model and options, which you can give you the creativity as a photographer. Since 2001 and 1999, I took many prizes. In Pakistan, I took the honorary prize in Pakistan, and it was the combining image of Karnak Museum, and it was very fantastic. And I used this as a logo in the last year in Vienna. One of my tools, as I said, is combining image. Combining image means the sandwich technique. We are using two shots. One shot.
We do have one of these photographs here in this exhibition.
Yes, in this exhibition. The pictures number 1 and picture, there is about the 6, you'll find that amazing. This is sandwich technique. This is the photographer, you are using two pictures, two shots with different exposure and different scope. And I said that I took the second prize in 1992 in special effects in Nile Salon of Photography. This is one of the national competitions for all Egypt. And I took the first prize of special effects in 2001. And this was an opera house. I was taking the encouragement of the artist, Dr. Ahmed Nawar. He was giving me a push. I will not forget him, because he's opened my exhibition in Art College in Zamalek about the graphic and about that. And Mr. Osama Al-Baz, he is a consultant of the president. At that time, he was giving me push for these types of special effects or modern photography, and you see in the last exhibition of me. Not only that, you can use what is called open exposure or delayed exposure. Delayed exposure is one of the challenges of the photographers. He can use the static camera as a video camera. And this is one of the creativity. We have many photographers here in Egypt. They are using these special types. This special type that he is open the apertures, not a shutter. He's open the shutter and leave the moving objects in front of the sensitive pixel to give expression about the movement. So the expression of movement, whatever by the colors or whatever by the fast, whatever there is moving lights or whatever moving trains, buses, or folklore dancing, or birds, as we'll see in my last exhibition.
If we're talking about this exhibition, tell us a little bit about it and about the pictures you're presenting here today.
Yes, actually, was about the Islamic um, architecture in India. And this was of the last journey for me. There was conferences, as I said to you. During the conference, I usually prepare myself what I usually concentrate for. You are asking me about why you are concentrate about this Islamic architecture. Actually, during the 8 days, I made about 1,500 shots. I was making a very good planning what I will do, and this is not only the exhibition about the India. I keep this in my pocket. And I hope, of course, to go more and more, because the life in India, it is very, very attractive, whatever, not only in the landmarks, not only in the museums, not only in the historical zones. India, it is full of many attractions. Not only that, the people there, the different culture, the different...
India, of course, its colors.
Of course. Not only the colors, the folklore, when you saw the artistic band of them. And you know that, of course, the Egyptian usually attracted by, since the film Sangam. And so during this exhibition, I was concentrate what I need in the short time. Because the Islamic architectures in the mosques and in the citadel and forts, it is different in Taj Mahal. And this was advice of my colleagues. They told Muhammad, you must concentrate on one aspect because you will lose everything. And this was one of the success I was concentrate at this time of the Islamic. Before I went, and this is my message for any photographer, you must put your plan. What you will go, what is the place which you will go, what is the important place which you give shots, and what is the difference between the Islamic architecture in India and the Islamic architecture in Egypt. Of course, the Islamic architecture in India, it was already affected by the Imbratoriya at that time of the Mughal and Farisi and Turkish at that time. So there is designs of the mosques and the tops of the mosque and domes and minarets are completely different, not completely different, it's different designs of our Islamic architecture in Fatimi and other designs which you find them in all the Cairo zones or in the citadel, our citadel, or in the Al-Azhar zone.
Walking almost half a century the path to photography, what would you tell the young photographers?
I wanted to give them the message for the young photographers, starting from families. Usually the Egyptian children, they have talent of the creativity. And please, I find many father and the mother, they don't do this, don't do this, stop this, go to your study. I will tell you a joke. When I was in a medical student or in the secondary school, I was making drawing, and when my father knocking at the door, I put this down. But in spite of that, I took more than 97%, and I entered the medical college. I was dividing my time. There is time for drawing and creativity and time of studying. So my message for the father and the mother and the teachers in the schools and the قصور الثقافة and our مراكز الشباب, we must give our creativity for the students. If they have a big skills or faragh, they can be misdirected. And they will not have this creativity for giving in the future serving of their nations and serving of their Egypt through their jobs. So my message should be for families and all of these teachers and all of this, they must encourage the creativity of them, and whatever this painting or whatever coloring or making domes or using tools as a camera, especially that we have now many tools of modern camera like our mobiles now, iPad. We have now many small camera which it is not sophisticated. So please give it this for the children. Make them to zoo, making them to go to gardens. Of course, this will help them. Not only of that, I want to tell you that we must help the handicapped children and the handicapped people. Photography, as you said in the last session, that photography art therapy will help these people. We need more projects in Egypt here to have helping them for these schools. I find these schools in Vienna, in Korea, some Indian students, when I was visiting them, they are encouraging by their families to have taking the camera, to taking shots. So my message is that continue the spirit of the creativity, whatever, dancing, music, coloring, photography, to give the spirit of the Egyptian creativity citizen in the future, building Egypt by our hands and by mind and by our hearts.
Dr. Mohammed El Deeb, you're one of the renowned photographers in Egypt. Who inspires you?
Who is?
Who inspires you? Who stands beside you? Who? Tell me the personalities from which you draw experience.
Of course, the first thing is my wife. And
she's a photographer as well?
No, she is doctor. And this is what I telling you. She loves me and I love her. And we are putting all of these spirits.
It was a love story then.
Of course. And this is what gave me a push for my success, of course. And not only that, all my family, they are beside me and helping me. This is what I want to continue, what I said just only in 5 minutes, that the pushing of this success, not only the family, also your professors, your teachers, your community. And this is what I want to give, continue the messages, the behind the success. It should be multifactorial of encouragement and appreciation, not only from the family, not only from your wives or from the members of the family, the members of the educational and centers of universities, of schools, of sport club. I am a member of one of sport clubs, is Gezira Sport Club. There is a photography committee there. I pushing the small students and members to love the photography. Not only that, when I was in Opera House and making many exhibitions in the Opera House, we make an workshop of the photography. And I want to continue this is workshop for the handicapped children, not only by the drawings, but also using the camera with them. And this is will be, inshallah, will be organized with the Ministry of Culture and the research center here.
Give us some information about this workshop and how it's going to affect those children.
Of course, this workshop is very, very good, and it is needs encouragement of, as I told you, not only the Ministry of Culture. They have already the programs, but they have in the drawing. Just only a couple of days, I went for some of the exhibitions in Opera House for the drawing of the children's, but I want to see the outcome of the workshops of photographers. Why I'm telling you this? Because now I am not making comparison between the camera and the drawings. But the camera nowadays, or digital camera nowadays, they have a very good tools in the creativity through the computers, through the creativity of the Photoshop, through the creativity of different colors. So this is will give the creativity for our children more and more than drawing. I'm not said that against drawing. I was before painter, but I mean that you must give this for your children's whatever music, drawing, colors, sports, because this will give a complete personality for your children and your citizens.
If we talk about the prizes and the many times that you were honored, tell us a little bit about the prizes you had, either in Egypt or outside.
Actually, I was already have encouraged by this, as I said, that not only when I was a medical student, I said when I was a medical student, I have many certificates, appreciation certificates from student union, اتحاد الطلبة of when I was a medical college, Cairo University, and I was continuing.
That was your first prize in photography?
This is the first prize, but during when I was a student in secondary school, I was encouraged by the art teachers. They are taking my photo and they put it at the entrance of the hospitals, and he was after 10 days he was keeping, and I was angry, and he said, I told him, why you are keeping them? He said, Muhammad, we are keeping them. No, keep them. One of two things: you put it in the wall and you continue in the wall, or you have another alternatives. On the second day, he's bring for me a very good price, and he was encouraging me, and he gave me the drawings. This was in the secondary school. As I said to you, when I was a medical student, and when I was in the last graduation, I took the first prize of medical college, first prize of the Cairo University in 1978, and I took the second prize all over the Egypt from all university. I was example the Cairo University at that time, and then I continue my prizes, alhamdulillah, for Minister of Health, taking the second prize for special effects in photography, Salon of Photography, in the 1999, and in 2001, I took the first prize of the special effects using this sandwich technique, or this modern photography, and uses this was in the 6 October symbol. And once you are talking to me, I will give you one joke. The photographer, he must have a spirit of not challenging, الشجاعة, encouragement. And during this time, there was a very good exhibition we are preparing, and in the year 2001, about Harb October and 6 October. I told them, I am not soldier. I said, Muhammad, you take one day and go to the Panorama Harb October, or you go to the symbol. So at that day, I took vacation from my hospital. I took my camera and I was studying what I will go. I took some shots on Panorama, and then I went for the 6 October symbol. You know that it is like pyramid. This was in 5 October. And the president, and the next day, he will visit and he will put on flowers. So once I was start to put my foot, there is many big corridor and there is ممنوع الدخول. They said, who is you? I tell them, I am photographer from Egyptian television. He said, no, he is from Egyptian television. Go, make him to go. So I go, I took my shots. I will never forget. I find that this is pyramid it has a reflection on vinyl. They are making a very new vinyl, and they did not want to touch by foot. So it was make a mirror. I took many shots of the combining image. I took the first prize of the Salon Nile of this year, and I made this beside Dr. Ahmed Nawar. He was encouraging me, and this was taking a muqtanayat in modern art museum and opera house.
Obviously, leading the path of photography while you're a doctor, I think it wasn't an easy case. How did you manage to do both at the same time?
This is a very good question, actually, because this was advice also of many of my colleagues around. You must divide your time, which is very, very important. Means that you are treating your patients and you must concentrate for it. Don't go to open your television and then you will see, or open your internet and you'll see. I have divided my time, the time of relaxation, or the time of the evening or early morning. When I was there, usually I divide them in the, not interlink between each other.
Wrapping up this interview, what is it that you dream of?
My dream? It's a big dream.
Which is?
Actually, I want to help the handicapped children through the photography. Not only for the diagnosis, I know this project, and this project, I was preparing this project when I was in Vienna, because they are, the handicapped children, as I told you, there is using special types of camera, and the special types of camera is infrared camera. And establishment of this, which it is called GAT analysis lab, it is starting from 1/4 till $500,000, which it is not present here in our developing country. We need to make more simplified in our developing country, because we want to help these people. This is can help them, of course. This will help them in diagnosis, help them in assessment by using the camera. Not only of that, I want my dream to have something new tools using the camera for special type of investigations. As I told you, to have a good and high total quality management of my career as an orthopedic surgeon.
Well, by that we wrap up this interview. It's obvious that he's big on both medicine and photography. Hope you've enjoyed this journey. Till we meet again, have a good time.